Okay, so welcome back to our next lecture, the lecture series 2 on the complex analysis. Okay, yes, so let us recall from our previous lecture, the lecture 1. We had seen in the lecture 1 we are aware about the multi-value function, right? Single value function, and also polar form and your Argand representation, right? Yes. We had also seen that when we need this polar form, when we are in multiplication or the division, then we will use the polar form, otherwise we will use the Argand. Okay, so the normal cases. For example, we had seen also the example, the first example was z is equal to half root z. This was a multiple function with the rotation around the coin with branch point is 0. And another example was f2z is equal to z minus 2 half is also multiple function with branch point is 2. Okay, meaning the moment we started rotating this function around the z is equal to 2, we got two values when we rotate the 2 pi in the counterclockwise. Okay, same here also, and I had given sufficient homework that you had seen z minus k is any number raised to the power 1 over n belongs to the natural number. This n belongs to the natural number is a multi-value function with branch point g is equal to k. Using same argument, one can write and one can better observe. One can observe a function of the form, yes, a function of the form f of g is equal to z minus 2, g minus 3, g minus 10 and g minus some number say 12 whole root is also a multi-value function with branch points will be here 2, 3, 10 and 12. Okay, meaning if you rotate your function around z is equal to 2, you will get two numbers. If you rotate around 3, you will get two numbers. If you rotate around 10, you will get two numbers. If you rotate around 12, you will get the more than one number. Okay. So instead of there is no speciality around this, you can put any number k also. It is not that the square root, so it will be k's roots, right, of this function. So we can generalize, and any function, if power is not an integer, you will get a multi-value function with the branch point. Okay. So yeah, it is all right. Okay. Any doubt here? No.
Say about
Nothing to repeat. I cannot repeat this time and again. Whatever I am telling you, if you have a doubt, this going to the video, you can play as much as, right?
Yes.
100 times, 200 times, that is video.
Yes.
So if you want to note it, you note it. Once we already finish this, right, whole complex analysis in our crash course videos, that the course is starting from June onward, if you remember, 13 June, right? All the videos are available, you can watch it. Okay, so write fast. Shall I erase this? Okay, so this is, now we are aware about the branch point, and one more thing I am interested. So the question arises, can we get a single value function from multi-value function? Okay, this is the question. Meaning, if I have a multi-value function, then can we get a single value function? Okay, it is obvious, the answer is positive, and yes, if you go in the shopping mall, if somewhere shopping going on, if you pay 100 rupees, you are getting one t-shirt, and if there are also buy one get one free, definitely you are getting one more. But if you say to the shopkeeper, hey, I am not interested, I am taking one, then I think shopkeeper will be also happy. So the same terminology here also. If I have a multi-valued function, then we can get a single valued function. So what are the criteria? We will look it, and we are going to learn how to get it. Okay, single valued function. So the answer is, if it is yes, if no, then definitely nothing to do. It will be over. If yes, then the question arises, how many? Okay. How many can we get? So first example, let us see. Yesterday we had seen f1z is equal to z1 over 2. We had seen that a function, a complex number written in the form of power, definitely, so we will work in the polar form, not in Cartesian form. Okay. So what to write is f1z is equal to f1 g of r comma theta. Right, in the polar form, from 10th class onward, you know how to write a complex number in the polar form. R e की power iota theta. That's what we put. R e की power iota theta, where R is modulus of g. So this will come out R e की power iota theta raised to the power 1 by 2. This will be R power half e raised to the power iota theta by 2. All right. Now, some particular point P, suppose I am here, so definitely this will be theta, the distance will be r. Alright? This is a particular point P. So this is the value at point P. Okay? So the particular position P from angle real axis, this is the angle theta, right? Distance r. The next step is rotate the function. Rotate 2 pi from P in counterclockwise. So once you rotate, definitely 2 pi, it will come here again. Yes. Now previous point is P. Now this point will be changed, but both will be the same. P dash. P and P dash are same, but here this was r comma theta, but this will be r theta plus 2 pi. Alright. Like you came from your home, now you go back again, you will be same point, right? So this is the position at P. Now at P dash, F1 D R, theta will be because you had rotated 2 pi, theta plus 2 pi. So this will come out R raised to power half E iota, replace theta by theta plus 2 pi. Alright? This will be R power half, this will be E power iota theta by 2 into, if you remember, 2 will be cancelled out, this will be E power pi I. By Euler formula, we know that E power iota theta is equal to cos theta plus iota sin theta. Here I have E power pi I, so this will be cos pi plus iota sin pi, right? This will be 0, this will give you minus 1. This implies that this comes minus R power half e raised to power iota theta by 2. Right? So, what I am telling you, the point is same at P. P and P dash are same. This is and this is are same, but the value of function changes. Meaning, at this point, one going this value, and after 2 pi rotation, even the point is same, but you are getting the different value. Yes. This implies that this is the multi-value function. Okay? So, it's fine, right? Once you rotate it 2 pi, position is point is the same, but value of function is changing. And it is happening because of this power. Right? Okay, so this is the multi-value function. Now we are going to learn how to get a single value function. Okay? So, note fast. Done? So z raised to the power half, this will be theta less than pi greater than minus pi, whatever. Or in the 10th class you have seen this is 2 pi greater than or equal to 0. Okay. When the no constant is given, there is no condition, then definitely the whole, there is no constant. If you see, this is the whole 2 pi rotation is with us, right? Our question was, if we have a multi-valued function, the question is, can we get the single-valued function? The answer was the positive. So now we are trying how to get a single-valued function, right? If you remember, if P is a point, we started from here, this was the theta. If you rotate 2 pi, the moment you are reaching again at P, then it's becoming the multi-valued function. If you do not cross the P, if you are not taking 2 pi, then this 2 will be cancelled out. That's why you are getting pi I, that's why minus sign is coming. So what we are interested in, if I can impose the meaning what I am telling you, z power 1 by 2, if I say hey, theta less than or equal to pi greater than minus pi, this is what we have given, right? So if I am using this domain, if you notice, z raised to the power half, what we did that first our point was P, then we rotated 2 pi, then we reach at the same point, but angle was different, angle was theta plus 2 pi. Here you cannot cross it. So the meaning is, the moment either you apply this region, in this region you cannot rotate 2 pi here, because the condition is theta between minus pi to pi. So the moment the theta between minus pi to pi, in this situation, this function becomes a single valued function. Okay. Also, so this is a single valued function in this region. This implies that now here f1, so f1 is equal to z power half is single valued if theta is less than pi and greater than minus pi. You should not put here again equality. If you put the equality, then 2 pi will come here, because minus pi to pi it will be the 2 pi. Or you also can write theta. So this is the one region. This is a region in which our function is single value. Another region is f1g is equal to z power half, theta is less than 2 pi and greater than or equal to 0. Again you are not crossing the 2 pi. Or this is another domain. Another region is, I am telling, theta less than 2 pi, then include here. Then don't include here. Once the moment including, you will get 2 pi plus. Okay. So in this region, your function is a single valued function. Okay. So whenever you have some kind of function, you should not cross the moment where you are getting the doubling numbers. Okay. So in this way we got the single value. So the question arises, as we had seen, now we have how many single value function? Once we got here, one is this, second is this, third is this. So the answer, can you write a region in which this function is single value? Do you have some idea? Sanjeev? जी बताइए। Okay, so let us look at geometrically. It's multiple function. Then f1 will be single value function again. The first option, theta many more can be written. Okay. So of course here it is single value. Here it is not single value. You are crossing 2 pi. Here also. Here also. Okay. So I also can write some geometry reason. If you draw the geometry, what is this? This is telling, this is a point. You start, do not cross, just stop before. But if this is telling, this is the same. Even here both points not included, here one point is included. Here minus pi is included, opposite is in, but pi not included. So what you have to do is, okay, leave it here. So I am writing some more diagram. See here, the first. Suppose P is a point here. I am here. So I will start. I will not cross. So there will be a center R. So I will before P. I will take a break and take the round circle and will reach here. Suppose I am here. You are taking this rotation, then do not cross this. You just go to the center and come back. Here, suppose I am here, right? Same thing. Start, do not cross it. Just stop before and come back. So, to get a single value function, it's very easy. What you have to do is, the point at which you are starting the rotation, do not cross that point. Okay. Its meaning, if you see how many points on this perimeter of a circle, how many points on the perimeter. So if you are starting from here, just start from here but do not cross it. Start from here, do not cross it. Start from here, do not cross it. So this implies how many points are there? Uncountable. It's meaning that, so how many single value function possible, right? So I can write one question. How many, this is a question of G, how many single value function of a multiple value function are possible. The first option is finite. Second is, okay, you add one more option, 1, and then here infinite. The third is countable. The fourth option is uncountable. Okay. So the answer definitely will be uncountable. Okay. Infinite both.
Yes.
But here it is written how many possible. So definitely one also possible, finite also possible, countable also possible.
Yes.
So all will be correct. Okay. Is all right to everyone?
Yes.
Any doubt in complex analysis? You should wait unless your analyticity starts. Then you will start enjoying the complex analysis. Before that, it will be boring. Okay. जी मैम, हाउ आर यू टुडे? कैसे हैं आप? बढ़िया. So you want to stay, right? You know the mathematics here. Okay. So anyway, do I erase it? And do not take little more burden on your brain, because the course that I am covering, it will be in whole life. You don't need to read this complex analysis. Either you do master, PhD, or UPSC, or any exam. What you are going to do that during your examination, you cut down, right? Because your exam is kind of nonsense exam, so it will be 1/10 syllabus will be sufficient for your exam. Okay. So, all right. So, the question is, now you have to find out, I believe that everyone have some tree in your house, right? So, what you have to do that, go there and find out the single valued function of a tree. Okay, this answer will be the same. Okay. Or if you have a problem in finding the single value of a tree, then take you as a human being, take yourselves, because you will be also categorizing it in a multi-valued function. So you can find the many single valued function out of you also, right? So yes, so now we are aware, right? So the another definition is coming, the known as branch point. I had already told you what is this, right? Go and Google and find out the definition there. You had already said, you know, we had solved many problem based learning. So this is the homework for you. Go and write. The another this branch line. Okay, so what is the branch line? I am telling. See, suppose this is a point P. This is our suppose branch point BP. So a line passing through the branch point. A line passing through the branch point, right? And if we start rotating our function 2 pi in counterclockwise, and we agree not to cross this line in order to get a single value function, this line is known as the branch line, or people say branch cut. So branch cut is a line passing through the branch point, and we agree not to cross, or in order to get a single valued function of a multi-valued function, if we start rotating from the particular point P in the counterclockwise, and we agree not to cross this line, this point. So the line, this line, the passing through is known as the branch cut. Okay. So this is the definition of the branch cut. Or some people say barrier. Okay. So this is known as the barrier. So the question arises, this branch cut is unique? Then answer is no. Because if you are starting from here, this is a branch cut. If you are starting from here, then definitely branch cut will be this height. It will be depend on where you are starting. So suppose I am starting from here. What you have to do? Not to cross, just stop before. So this will be, this line is known as the branch cut. Okay. I think it is clear. So like this. So I am taking a break. We should start this multi-value function after some time later. Let us come back to the single value function. Okay, we are now able to write or construct a single value function of a multi-valued function, right? So whenever we will get a multi-valued function, we can write the single valued function very easily. All right? Any doubt? Anybody? Ji, no doubt. So let us come back to the single value function. So a function defined from a subset of D to a subset, suppose this is defined on C, this is subset of complex number. So we say the single value function of complex variable. Complex variable means the input supply will be always G, not X. Okay? So your domain will be the G, f of z is equal to something. So for example, we had seen yesterday f g is equal to G, f g is equal to G square, sin G, cos G, and many more. These are the single value function of complex variable. Another example is if you take any polynomial Pd is equal to any polynomial of finite degree, is also example of single value function of complex variable. Okay, so the first question arises from here is to find the limit of single value function of complex variable. Okay, so tell me how will you calculate the limit? G. What is the definition of limit? So, the function defined from D to C is said to have limit L at point D equal to V naught if for every epsilon positive there exists a del positive such that G minus G naught less than delta implies that Fg minus L less than delta. Okay. So whenever you have something modulus, so you always remember mod G meaning. If you remember, this will be under root real part square plus imaginary part square, x square value. Take both sides square. Mod G, suppose this is absolute real number, so this will be r square is equal to x square plus y square, right? Or we can write this x minus 0 whole square plus So this is the center, 0, radial part. This is known as a circle. Okay. What is this meaning? If you see G minus G naught less than delta, right? This implies that okay. So before I should let you know one more terminology here. Or symbolically, what you used to write this limit G tending to G naught and f of G is equal to L. This is not a definition, this is a symbol. Okay, but this is not a mathematics. But at most uneducated teacher always wrote like this. This is a drive, this is kind of symbol that we used to write. Okay, if you go in higher education some good places, you will not see this thing. Okay, so the geometrically meaning is, see, in the real analysis or in calculus, you had seen an interval, right? So if I have a point here A, another point is B, I can tell you the distance between A and B. But in complex analysis, we had seen yesterday, the whole plane is there. So how will you calculate the distance? In the form of, you have to calculate the distance from A to B. You have to take a disc like this, make a circle, A is here, B is here. Now you make again one more circle, keep on circling. So if you say, if the radius is decreasing, so this is the radius, biggest radius, right? Yes. This is also radius. See, this is also radius, this is also radius. Again, so here to reach, like in the real analysis, if something is here, A, I want to go here. I am telling x tending to A. This meaning that we are some distance here or there. I can go to the A, right? But complexity is not the case. How you will go in the complex analysis? If here G naught is here, I am here, G is here, I want to come here, then you have to come this way. Because path is there, here only one line, here we have a freedom. So this is the way to approach. Now you again reduce the radius. Then G will be here, again reduce the radius. So keep on reducing the radius, the moment that this will come when G will be here, meaning G tending to Z naught, meaning you are reducing the radius from here to some distance. So put the radius 0, the moment it will be 0, then G will be at Z naught. Okay? So this is the geometry, that how you are reaching to the Z naught. So G minus G naught less than delta, meaning G tending to the G naught. After some time, your G will reach at the Z naught. So how we will write this, meaning that this is, and yeah, here. So one more symbol I'm writing here. Whenever I write like this, right? So G naught and radius delta. Whenever this is written, this is the collection of all those complex numbers such that, so this will be radius and this will be your center. Okay? So collection of all those complex numbers such that the distance my G minus G naught less than delta. Okay? How will you calculate distance? I had already told you, right? You have to keep on coming, right? This way. So here one direction path is not there. What is this? If you remember, what is the geometry? Geometry means G naught is here. Take the delta radius and then, so this boundary is not there, see, it's strictly less than delta. But this inside part is video, right? And this is known as delta G naught We say this is the open disk at D naught, okay, or delta disk at D naught. All right. So here strictly less than, meaning if you see if you have seen some CD, if you see the CD, that is a disk, a plate actually, right? So total part is within inside. So let us look the geometry of this. G minus G naught less than delta, if you remember, is something related. This implies that this is nothing, a disk center Z naught or a ball सेंटर जेड नॉट रेडियस डेल्टा है, एक बैलून है सॉलिड बैलून जेड नॉट पर है ना, तो उसके अंदर के सभी पॉइंट मीनिंग सो जी नॉट इज हियर, डेल्टा इज द रेडियस, दिस इज राइट. सो this part mathematically I can write this as a disk at G naught radius delta, implies that a disk at L radius so G belong to here, then your f of G belong to here. Okay. It is easy to understand. There is no other way to understand also. See, so this is somewhere L, this is epsilon, right? What he is telling, G belong to here, meaning suppose G is here, right? Suppose G is here, this coming, but it will come in the form of circle, then your f of G will be here. Then this should be also come towards this way in the form of circle. The meaning of delta here is that when delta tending to 0, meaning if Z is here, then your Fz will be little bit distance. When your G will be very near here, then your Fg will be more near to L. What is the form? If G is here, then this implies that we will make a disk in which G and Z naught will be there. Then automatically your Fz should be also within this disk, meaning the distance G and G naught start decreasing, then Fz and L will start decreasing. Okay, so this means that if the radius, if you keep on reducing, if you keep on, suppose you have a ball, if you keep on pressing, definitely the ball will shrink to the point. The same way this should be also shrink. That's what it is meaning of the symbolically limit G tending to Z naught, Fz will be there. Okay, it is fine to everyone? Yes, think 2 minutes. It will be better if you can draw some picture in your notebook and understand. The moment you are not using your brain and the mathematics and the science, whatever you are doing, you are opening some different dimension in your brain. And if you are able to open here, you will be able to open in your life also. If you will be here blunt witted, you will be everywhere also. It doesn't matter you are able to understand or not, just keep on trying. So draw some picture, write some conclusion, then we should move ahead. Anyway, so I think today there are no problem. You can go the class as much as possible, right?
Yes, sir.
Or you want, we can finish this today. Ji. Any doubt here? So, write fast. Mask हटा सकते हो जी. So let us see one question. F of g is equal to g bar over g when g non-zero, right? This function and another is same as, and this will be g over g bar okay. Yes, so when g is equal to 0, we have this, and so you have two questions. One is this.
आपने जाएंगे इसकी
बोलने की जरूरत नहीं, कोशिश करूँगा आप किसी और को नहीं बताइए, इतना ऑनेस्ट मैं नहीं हूँ। बट अभी हो सकता है मैं अगर जाऊँगा भी तो मैं करीब 2-4 मिनट के लिए जाऊँगा, दे विल बी हैप्पी दैट आई कैन।
अच्छा, इसमें से कोई बच्चा केमिस्ट्री किया है? कोई नहीं किया?
Yes, so when g is non-zero, we have this. When g is equal to 0, this and this way. Okay. We have two questions. One question you have to, so what you have to do that find the limit at 0. Find the limit at 0. G. So tell me, do I calculate the limit for this or do I calculate the limit for this? One question I will solve, another question you have to solve. This was the question that was asked in grade 2014. Okay. जी बताइए, टेल मी व्हिच क्वेश्चन डू आई सॉल्व लेफ्ट साइड और राइट साइड? टेल लेफ्ट और राइट? अरे स्पीक लाउडली। You guys are not enjoying complex analysis.
Sir, left.
This is a very simple way that I am teaching. Beyond this, either you will be fool or nobody can teach you. I mean, below this standard.
Yes, sir. Left side.
Tell, I am cancelling others classes. Left side.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see the left side. G is equal to 0. We are calculating the limit. This meaning that we are interested in G tending to 0. F of G, right? This is directly means G cannot be 0. So this option 1,
Yes, sir.
right? This implies that we are interested in limit G tending to 0, G over G bar. It's all right, everyone? Fine? Okay. So, whatever you are studying, this live class will be going to the government of UGC also. These lectures will be uploaded to the government official website also. Okay? But it should be mandatory to every teacher also, right? When people cannot teach you wrong method or something, because there will be people to judge also. Okay. So the G tending to 0, this is a function.
Yes.
So if you remember, suppose, okay, so I am taking the case number 1. Yes, case number 1. G tending to 0, if you remember, 0 is this.
Yes, sir.
In complex analysis, you are going to the 0. This implies you have to go in a circle wise. So suppose this is a circle. Any problem? No. To tend to the 0, I have so many paths. So first I am choosing. Suppose I am here. Since you are going with the help of circle, so you have a freedom to choose any point.
Yes, yes, sir.
But for our convenience, suppose I am taking our G is here. So this is your, if you remember, this is your imaginary axis.
Yes, yes, sir.
This is your real axis.
Yes, yes.
In imaginary axis, your real part will be 0, right? So here, our G will look like, if you remember, this will be x plus iota y.
Yes, sir.
But here x will be 0.
I will follow.
Because on imaginary axis, this part will be 0.
Yes, sir.
Alright? Since G tending to 0, this implies that here x is already 0. So this is sufficient, your y should tend to the 0. So if G is here, this is coming 0, it is sufficient, I say this is the y tending to 0. So meaning, page number 1, let G tending to 0 along imaginary axis. Then what this will be? This implies that limit y tending to 0, 0 plus iota y upon 0 plus iota y bar.
So with bar है ना?
Then bar and
minus
plus. This will be limit y tending to 0 iota y upon minus. This will be minus 1. Okay?
Yes.
Meaning, if you are coming this approach, your function run towards the minus 1.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it fine to everyone?
One आएगा sir.
Huh?
One.
1. Oh, great. So, along what?
Along our real axis. The real axis.
Case number 2, let g tending to 0
Along the real axis.
along
Real axis.
positive real axis.
Yes, positive.
You can take anything. Positive. Okay. Positive real axis is here, if you remember. If g is here, tending to 0, this is your g, right? What will be the g here? X plus iota 0, right? Imaginary part will be 0. थोड़ा सा दे दे, बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. हाँ हाँ, थोड़ा वाटर भी अगर मिल जाए तब तो. Okay. See, g tending to 0. So it is sufficient g tending to 0 if your x tending to 0. All right?
Yes.
Do it here. So limit g tending to 0, g over g bar will be limit x tending to 0, x plus iota 0 upon x plus iota 0. Here bar will not work at all. This will be limit 1. Tell me, if I am approaching this way, my function is going to the plus 1.
Yes.
Hmm? थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू. आपके खूब ढेर सारी फैमिली हो. जी, सो कंक्लूड इट विद द डेफिनेशन. डेफिनेशन क्या कहता है? क्या हुआ ये? और दे आप लोग एक घाट नहीं हो कितना जल्दी?
नहीं सर.
आज तो आप लोग 3 बजे तक पढ़िए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
ठीक है सर.
क्यों? सही टाइम में 3 बजे जाके सो जाना. फिर करना क्या है? व्हाट टू डू इज नेक्स्ट वीक. This is your life. This is a time for study only. If you are doing anything other than study, what you will do, you will regret in your life that you have done the study. Everything has priority and have some decide, right? The once you are grow up, you never ever can take even admission. College will throw you outside. They will look at your data, what and this, blah blah blah. Okay. So in this country only, if you go outside, this is not a problem. When I was in US in Buffalo University, in my MS, I was what my age, I think 21 something, and then all the other people for 40, 45 something. So there is no age boundation there. Okay. So yes, what did you conclude? Tell me the conclusion, Ji. Why?
तो सेम ही है मतलब
Then why do you need same, Ji? Is there any definition to tell the same?
-1 और -1
Then what is the problem?
so limit has
It is good that, it is very good that I do not like to evaluate the mark sheet. Sorry, mark sheet answer booklet. Otherwise, the way people used to write, I do not think their students will pass. Because guys understanding something else, they are writing something else. So it is good that do not regret you got too much number. Hello? Somebody is regretting that you guys are regretting. What did happen? Suppose if I am there, I was checking your copy then. Of course you might will get good number, but that does not give the certainty. Any kind of teacher can be there, right? If it's so strict, whatever you have learned from here, maybe the method is not correct.
yes sir.
Definitely you will employ the same method that part you will learn in your college. Alright? So this is not even teacher responsibility, this is your responsibility also. That's why Googles are there, sufficient facility are available, you have to do correct yourself. Whatever I am teaching may not be the correct, you have to correct. Because mark you will get. You are not going to give me that certificate to me, hey, take it and enjoy it, okay?
Yes sir.
So, okay. So, the things is, we had seen, so let us see the definition. The definition was, whenever G belongs to, if you remember, G tending to 0, compare the definition, Z naught is 0. So the disk is 0, radius is delta, is not implies f of G belong to a disk epsilon of any particular point L. Whenever 0 is there, if you are coming as close to 0 with the help of circle, your function is, the distance of the function is not decreasing. One is going 1, another one going is -1. Even the distance is more than nearby 2, right? So this epsilon, the distance is not decreasing here. So this is not true. Therefore, Fg is equal to G over G bar has no limit at G equal to 0. Okay.
Yes sir.
If you will write this line in the UPSC, then only you will get some mark. You cannot, suppose you understood something and you are not able to express yourself, then again you will not get mark. So expressing is very important, right? Tomorrow you will be teacher here, your house is here, you will never come to college, right? You will keep on enjoying. So I think it's very good, right? Your college is near and can get job nearby. People will not know you are inside the college or inside home. You can come and go, right? Because it is nearby. But really, I have seen nearby people used to go some other district. Yes. So the way we had solved this first one, now you try other part. So, or if you are intelligent, so I am giving another question. So you have two questions. One is this, another one is G tending to 0. Find 1 over G find the limit. Okay. You know what you guys did last 7 or 6 months? Nothing. Home, everyone is home. If you want to go in university program today, you can go and have food there. Good celebration is there. Okay? So I am not going myself to be in person. You can relax.
अरे वो जा रही है दिव्या।
बुलाओ।
दिव्या नहीं सुनी।
You can call her ना? ओके आई करके क्या करना है?
मैं बोली थी क्लास चलेगा क्या करना है?
अरे ऐसा था नहीं पता, मुझे भी नहीं पता था। मैं वहाँ पे कब से वेट कर रही थी, कहाँ पे
मैं उधर से आई ना तो आवाज सुनी सर की, मुझे लगा इधर ही चल रहा होगा।
मैं सुनी थी।
तो तुम्हें पूछना चाहिए ना यहाँ पे।
हाँ तो मैं पूछी तो बोले वहाँ पे नहीं पता।
Just try fast. Yes, what is your answer? You can check limit does not exist here. The answer, okay? So the answer you will get along real axis limit does not exist. Along imaginary axis you will go to the infinity.
Yes sir.
Okay? And this is the homework. How will you get infinity? Because you have seen that sin z is always like minus pi or minus 1 2 plus 1, right?
Yes sir.
So whatever, but here I am telling you will go to the infinity twice. So go and Google it. और इसके पहले जितने टीचर ने पढ़ाया है उनसे जाके पूछना, ठीक है? हाँ?
नहीं बताते हैं।
नहीं, डायरेक्ट पूछना तुम्हारा राइट है, अधिकार है। फाइट करो उनसे कि क्यों इनफिनिटी पे जा रहा है। ओके, पहले 10 क्वालिफाई जाना, फिर 11 12 एंड सो ऑन सच मिलना, ठीक है? इसमें नहीं, कौन नहीं है? अच्छा अभी चले गए।
भगवान के पास।
This implies that if you are going to the infinity, what is this meaning? This implies that this is not bounded. That's what it means. So sin z function is not bounded.
Yes sir.
I remember in the in third year, one teacher simply asked 1 plus iota is complex number or real number. The student couldn't answer. It is really horrible. He told me he would have slapped that fellows, alright, your senior boss. So all the way fine. So this is the definition of the limit, and now we are aware, right? So you can calculate. So same again, I am using the continuity. So the symbol notation will be as it is here. Here the continuity will include one more term, that limit g tending to g naught f of g is equal to, instead of L that we had seen, this is the limit, right?
Yes.
If this is equal to value of function, then we say the function is continuous. This is your value of function. What is this?
Limit.
Limiting
Value.
value. Alright? So limiting value and the value of function is same, then you say the function is continuous. So instead of taking L, what you do that replace L by f of g naught in the definition, you will get the continuity definition. It is fine to everyone? Haji, correct? Okay, alright. So in previously you had seen some question, and that are not limit does not exist, that directly implies that not continuous also, right?
Yes.
Because continuity demand one more definition, the L should be exactly this value of function. Okay? So the another term, and very important, is known as the differentiability. Right? Differentiability in complex analysis. Right? Differentiability in complex analysis. Okay, differentiability in complex analysis. How will you decide? How will you define the differentiability? Tell me, what is differentiability? Okay, so let us write one definition directly. So the symbol will be as it is. Let f defined from a subset of complex number b, c to c is said to be differentiable at point g naught belong to d if there exists if for every psi positive there exists a delta positive such that f of g minus fz naught upon g minus z naught minus f dash g naught less than epsilon alright. Do not think this is something, it is some constant like L. If you have a problem writing this, you simply write like L. Nothing. F dash z naught is nothing. Because why is it not nothing? Because we didn't define the differentiability. So writing this f dash z will be the abuse of notation. Abuse of notations, right? Okay, see the same definition again. Instead of taking fz, I am taking some bunch of thing. You know fz will be given, fz not value of function, then take the difference. Symbolically आप लोग क्या पढ़े हैं, लिमिट g टेंडिंग टू g नॉट f of g all right,
Yes, sir.
is it? और
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? You have to go and draw the geometry of it. Why these both are same? Why? And where to apply this? Where to apply this? Where this method applicable? Where this method applicable? Right? So these are the points that you have to write. Okay? So this is a symbol. So fine. Any doubt? Anyone have? Oh my God. Okay. Yes. So let us see some example. The first example is fg is equal to, check g bar. So check the point, check the differentiability at g is equal to 0. G not is 0. If differentiable, then calculate f dash 0, right? Okay. So yes, let us calculate. So f dash 0 will be limit g tending to 0 f of g minus f of 0 upon g minus 0. This will be limit g tending to 0. Fz is given already g bar minus, if you put 0, it will be 0 upon g. So this come out limit g tending to 0 g bar by g. Correct? You know it that does not exist previous, right?
Yes, sir.
This implies that fg is equal to g bar is not differentiable. G is equal to 0. Alright?
Yes, sir.
Homework. Fz is equal to G bar is nowhere differentiable. Fine. Any doubt? ये आपके लिए homework है. You have to try it. Okay. Any other function if you want, I can look it. Let's see. Fg is equal to x. Some people see real part of t. Or Fg is equal to y. Imaginary part of g. Check the differentiability at 0. Find out. So then, what did happen? What is your answer? Nothing. Apply here. So, what you will get? X minus 0 over z. Na? Okay. Along real axis. Along real axis, g will be x plus I0. Then this will be this is sufficient, x tending to 0. So x tending to 0, x minus 0 over x 1.
Second one upon.
And then next is let g tending to 0. Okay, along negative real axis. Okay, so g will be minus x plus I0. This will be
-1.
-1. You can approach any other method. That is also correct.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. 1 and -1. What is this meaning? Leave it.
It doesn't exist.
Fantastic. This we check at 0, but if you take y or you take any function, right? The homework is this x and y. This x and y, whatever we had taken, are nowhere differentiable in the whole complex plane. They are not differentiable anywhere. You can take it, okay? One more question. Mod d square at d equal to 0. If g is equal to g square, check the differentiability at d equal to 0. Now, by formula, so what is your f of g? Mod g square minus 0 over g. Mod g square can be written g into g bar.
Yes, sir.
G can be into 0, this will be 0. Okay? Homework. This is differentiable at g is equal to 0 only, and nowhere else. All right. Homework. Same. If I write f g equal to g minus 2 mod whole square, then you can check it at f dash 2. This will be differentiable, and the differentiation value will be the 0. Okay. Then g minus k power any number, you can put 10. This will be also differentiable. Then f dash k will be 0. This will be differentiable at this point only and nowhere else. Okay. So in this way, if we notice, this is taking time. to check the differentiability,
Yes, sir.
do we have some method that we can check it very fast? Then answer is yes. So what is that method? So you know what is the difference between necessary condition and sufficient condition? So whenever, first you notice, whenever I have a function fg, we can always write the fg in the form of real part of fg plus imaginary part of f of g. This is a function of x and y, so this will be also function of x and y, this will be also function of x and y. So this I can write for our convenience u xy plus iota times vxy. Okay. For example, if I am writing g, then the real part will be this will be x, this will be y. If I have a g square, if you do the squaring, then this will be x square minus y square plus iota times 2xy. So this will be your uxy, this will be your vxy. Okay. So whenever you have a function in the form of g, just replace g equal to x plus iota y. Separate the real part and imaginary part, you will get u and v.
Yes.
Okay. So the moment you have, so the first is the necessary condition we use to prove the function is not differentiable. So the necessary condition for differentiability. Okay. What is a necessary condition is a function defined from a subset of complex number c to c is differentiable if iota at g naught, iota fx at is equal to fy at g naught. If it is same, then we do not know. But not differentiable means if they are not same, because this is a necessary condition. Again, this is last time I am telling. This is a necessary condition. If function is differentiable, then it should be whole. But if it is whole, then we do not know. So that's why it is a necessary condition. Then what we do that, we will check the set of point at which this is not satisfied. So if it is not satisfied, we will say function not differentiable. For example, take one. So the use, we will check iota fx not fy at g naught. This implies that f is not differentiable at g naught. For example, we had seen fg equal to g bar, right? So this will be x minus iota y. Tell me iota fx and fy. Iota fx will be 1, correct?
Yes, sir.
And fy will be, this will be 0, this will be 1 into iota, and this will be minus iota. You tell me iota and minus iota. So iota cannot be the minus iota.
Yes, sir.
This implies that which point? Everywhere. Iota fx and fy are not same. Where? Everywhere. Therefore, this function is nowhere differentiable. That's what we had seen. Okay. Any doubt? Similarly, we had seen f g is equal to x, right? So now you check, tell fx is equal to 1.
1 y equal to 0.
Then what is the definition? Iota fx is equal to fy. This is also nowhere.
Yes, sir.
So the function nowhere differentiable. So using this method, it's very simple observation that you can tell whether the function is differentiable or not. Okay? Or if you have a problem here, so there is one more method. So called the illiterate method for uneducated people. That is known as, like, I have a function, then this function have real part and imaginary part, u and v I have. So you have to check ux is equal to vy and uy is equal to minus vx. Okay? Either you check this method or this method. You decide your category. Okay? So some students had some book. So you can check. I suppose that in your books definitely it should be there. You had now one book. That's book actually.
सभी को दे दीजिए.
वापस दीजिए. You read it?
दीदी को दे दी.
So it is fine for everyone.
Yes, sir.
So this is a necessary condition. Let us write the sufficient condition for the differentiability. Do we start? G. Sufficient condition for differentiability. After one, we will start numerical analysis also today. Fine, right? So what is the sufficient condition for differentiability? Meaning once it is satisfied, you will say, hey, your function is differentiable. If you exhaust, then we can stop. Tell. Only if the accepting quality is still as it is in beginning, then it is fine. Otherwise, we should start next lecture. Yes. Tell. Otherwise, then we will use the differentiability and analyticity in the next lecture. What do you want? Next lecture. You want?
Yes.
Okay. So, I think you continue next lecture. So, no. The problem is I have to explain then each and everything. You have to read. Go and read in the Google. Download some PDF. See what is the differentiability, what are the conditions, and then analyticity. You have to come in the next class with this background. Okay? So see you and with some questions also. And I had given you sufficient problem, so do it. Okay? And watch this lecture on the YouTube as well. Yeah. If you do not like, then tomorrow